What's good, guys? Good morning. Blind Dave here. So, new door is installed, but no, it's not finished yet. Same with outside, but in case you're wondering how a blind dude installs an entry door, now, I don't see the way that you see here. So, like with everything that I do, I have to find a way to do things. So things are a little different for me. I say adapt and overcome rather often. So, and not only did a blind dude, me, install this door, and all the other doors on this property, but I installed it alone. So in this video, I kind of want to go over how a blind dude did this. So, like I said, I have to figure out a way to do things a little different. I grew up as the maintenance man for family rental properties. So this is not my first rodeo. But anyway, these pieces of wood over here, what I would do, I think it still has nails in it. Let's see. I must have pulled the nails out. They're probably still in the drywall. But anyway, at the top, I'll fit a piece of wood across, and I use a pneumatic nail gun, so an air gun. Anyway, I'll tack a piece of wood across the top, piece of wood across the bottom, so just over the baseboard. That way then I get an absolute flush to the drywall, all the way, top, sides. Now, the next thing I do after I tack that in is I set the door into place, and then from outside I lay a level across the threshold outside, and I get a level on the bottom first. So I'll shim up on either side to make sure that that bubble is directly in the center. And again, I have to use powered magnification to do that. So I get the bottom level, I tack a nail into each side. Just not a big nail, just a little small finishing nail. Let's see. Yeah. Just a small finishing nail. I don't know what size. I want to say 2.5 inch. Yeah, 2.5 inch. Anyway, I'll tack one in each side. And then just for security, I'll tack just one nail up at the top, maybe in through the top or into the side. But then I go from outside, and with a pry bar and a tape measure, I'll measure to the, now I had to remove the brick molding to fit it in, because here I have siding up underneath the, I guess you would say dormer or whatever out here, but the siding was not allowing me to put the brick molding in place, so I had to remove that from the door. But then I measure left and right, from the actual brick to the inside edge of, or to the edge of the, to the door casing, not door casing, but door frame rather. And same thing, I make sure that left and right is exactly perfect, and then I shim up each side and I tack 2 nails into the bottom, and then I go to the top, and then I measure left to right at the top to make sure that, to make sure that everything is equidistant at the top, and then I tack 2 nails into each side. Then I have the top and the bottom, and the door is completely flush and perfect. Then I go in on the sides and I shim those out and make that same thing, make certain that that's equidistant. put a long, I don't have it in here. Anyway, I put a long, like, I want to say 6 foot or 5 foot level on each side to make sure that the bubble is level. Tack in a few other things. Then I go around and I install I put the spray foam, but the blue can, so that way it doesn't expand nearly as much as the red can of the spray foam. But I start from outside and I spray in, and I hold the shit out of it. I hold a lot of it because I want to fill that entire gap. That's your sound deadening. That's your soundproofing. So I do that from outside all the way around. And then I come inside and finish off the inside to make certain that all of that gets done. While that is freshly installed, then I go ahead and install all the hardware and the strike plates and all that kind of stuff. Get all that done, and then with the screwdriver, I stick my screwdriver in the holes for the deadbolt and the doorknob. Go ahead and get all the spray foam out of the way. Close it up, lock it, leave it alone, walk away for a day. Let this stuff dry for a day. And then I come back with a razor knife, a long razor knife, so a real long one, the blade actually. And then I cut this right off and get a clean edge on both the inside and outside. Now today, what we're doing is we're actually going to beef up the security bit of it. So right here, from the outside, or rather from the inside, I'm going to install blocks of wood here, the middle hinge and the lower hinge. Directly behind that, just tack that in place, just quick. You know, extend up a little bit too. So extend up to here and maybe down to there. Cut a piece of wood, tack that in place. Then I'm going to remove just one screw at a time from each hinge. And I'm going to put a 3-inch deck screw. That'll go all the way in through the double stud, which is here when you frame out a door. And I'm going to replace all 4 of the screws with a 3-inch deck screw on each of these. Now, the strike plate, whenever I set a door and I do the spray foam, I just put the normal strike plate in. An additional strike plate would be beneficial. So that way then you can add additional screws there, and same thing, beef up the wood behind that. But the 3-inch deck screws, because when someone goes to just, kick in a door from the outside, all you're talking about is that little 3/4 inch screw. That's all that's holding that door in. I mean, a child can kick a door in. So you're going to want to beef that up. Then this little bit of wood here, that's pine. And there's only about, a 1/2 inch of pine, maybe less, guarding this as well as your deadbolt. So, I install a piece of metal right here behind this, as well as on the back side. So that way then when the deadbolt goes in, it stays inside of that piece of metal. Good luck ever trying to kick that door in, or any door on this property. But anyway, that metal has gone in and screwed into the double stud behind it as well. Then I go on with the door casing. Now this door is not going to be operational. I mean, right now I can open it and close it and all that good stuff, but you see, I'm elevating the whole property, and same thing on my tenant's side as this door. The driveway is right outside here to the left, so there's going to be a railing that goes in front of this door that goes down the steps that goes to the driveway, because I'm going up 5 feet. So this door is not going to benefit me in any way to have it functionable anyway. Is that light? It sure is. I gotta put that little thing in. Well, I mean, if it's not functioning, don't worry about installing that little thing. The little there's an additional piece that comes with every door that you can tack in to stop the additional light or bugs or whatever from getting inside. Now, granted, also in a wet area, they make a tape that you can lay the tape down underneath the threshold. Problem I have with doing the tape is that once you set the door in, if you got to move it at all, you're screwed. So I globbed the shit out of it. I put a whole tube of silicone across the bottom. Because here, where I'm at, I mean, when it rains, it storms. I mean, it's like a torrential downpour. So, rain will find a way to get in. But that is the only way that I've found to eliminate the rain. That, and then I silicone everything outside. The same thing. I put the brick molding up around it, silicone around it, before primer and paint. And make sure you primer these doors. Any door that you get, the woodwork on the exterior is just, the primer on it is just garbage. So I'll use a different primer, either Original Kills or like a bin primer is really good. And I'll do a coat or two of primer on top of the factory primer before going on with any paint. So whenever it's a sealed door and I don't want it operational, I glob the shit out of the bottom, the sides, the top, but I do it along the threshold just in case I ever need to open the door in the future. I still can. But I use a bunch of silicone, original silicone. And then I close the door and then brace the door to make it nice and tight. And then silicone the outside around it, top and sides and all. Let that dry and then paint it. So anyway, this is just a little video on how a blind dude installs a door by himself. For anyone out there who's a little curious, maybe watch other people do it on YouTube first. Like I said, I grew up doing maintenance on rental property since I was, 11? Wait. Yeah, 11. So, anyway, just a quick little video. And morning coffee. But anyway, y'all be cool. Later.